Hello, good morning to everybody. So today's session we will going to discuss about effects of effluent stream discharge. Effects of effluent discharge on streams. So what happens if we discharge the waste or effluent onto the stream? What are the difficulties we have to face? Let discuss. Effects of effluents. Effluents discharge on stream. So whatever the wastewater we are getting from different types of industries, immediately we are going to decide to discharge without treatment. It is very difficult. In case if it is before going to discharge the wastewater or industrial wastewater, so we should know the strength, we should know the characteristics of the wastewater. Sometimes in developed industries, they are maintained well and as well as they are treating before going to discharge onto the stream or river. But some of the, I think, little bit oldest industries, they are not thinking about the treatment before going to discharge the wastewater. Simply they are going to discharge the wastewater onto the stream. Suppose without treatment they are discharging the wastewater onto the stream, what are all the effects occur? That thing we have to discuss today. So the major concept is DO deficiency or dissolved oxygen deficiency. So even in the previous sessions also number of times we discussed about dissolved oxygen content on the stream. The saturation level, it is available in the natural streams. Where exactly? Saturation level means the DO concentration is 14.62 mg per liter. That is the saturation level. All the streams are water bodies having the saturation of DO level or dissolved oxygen content level. But where exactly we are going to discharge the wastewater onto the stream? Normally all industrial wastewater consisting of acidic in nature, majorly. Sometimes it may be alkaline in nature. So in that situation, the DO deficiency is 0. Up to it may come from 14.62, that is saturation level, it may come down up to the 0 mg per liter. Immediately it can reach the original position by absorbing the oxygen content from the atmospheric level. So the first effect is DO depletion. DO depletion due to the settlement of suspended substances and subsequent decomposition of the same in anaerobic condition. This is the main. Because where exactly we are going to discharge the wastewater, the DO deficiency will be 0 or it comes to down less than 4 mg per liter. So there is no chance of getting the oxygen. That's why the process will be takes place in anaerobic condition. Anaerobic means there will be two things, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic means with the oxygen the process will be takes place. But anaerobic condition means without oxygen the process will be takes place. That is nothing but anaerobic condition. Because where exactly we are going to discharge the wastewater into the natural stream or water body, the DO deficiency will be more or the DO concentration will be less than 4 mg per liter. It may be 0, it may be 1 mg per liter, it may be 2 mg per liter. But whatever it may be, for the aquatic life survival, they need minimum of 4 mg per liter. For aquatic life survival, they need minimum of 4 mg per liter. So gradually it can move upwards. I mean to say that gradually from 0 milligram per liter to the saturation level is 14.62 milligram per liter. Gradually it may come up, but initially where exactly we put the load into the natural stream, the DO deficiency will be less. It may be comes to 0. So hence we can't expect the aquatic life survival. That is the major concept. Okay. Next, anaerobic condition. For example, alkaline and toxic substance like sulfide and chromium affects the aquatic life and interferes with the biological treatment process. And sulfide makes corrosive particularly to concrete structure. And also the dye waste may be economically treated treated by biological methods. Biological methods prior to equalization, neutralization, and chemical oxidation. So in this way, the wastewater will be affects the natural stream. So first concept is the DO deflation, and due to the settlement of suspended substances and subsequent decomposition of the same in the anaerobic condition, because the oxygen content at the moment is 0. Are you clear? Next, alkaline and toxic substance like sulfides and majorly sulfides and chromium, these are all affects the aquatic life majorly. In addition to that, it interferes with the biological treatment process. Some industrial wastewater can be easily treatable by using biological methods, and also sulfide makes corrosive, particularly the concrete structure, because the concrete structure will be made up of using cement. So it is directly affects the structure, one thing. In addition to that, the dye waste, where exactly we are going to use the dyes? In textile industry. In textile industry, majorly we are going to use the dyes. It is purely acidic in nature. Whatever the waste comes out of these dyes, the majorly purely in acidic in nature. The dye waste may be economically treated by biological methods prior to the equalization, neutralization and chemical oxidation. What do you mean by equalization? You know what do you mean by equalization and neutralization, because already you are studying in water treatment process. Even that water treatment process also we have to study the equalization and neutralization. To remove the suspended particulate matters, we have to use these two units, equalization and neutralization, because where exactly we are going to treat the water, raw water, before going to send the water to the filtration or clarifier or sedimentation process, we have to add some coagulants to the raw water to remove the suspended particulate matters. So we have to give some time to neutralize or equalize the coagulants along with the whole water body. Simply we can call it as detention period or detention time. That is nothing but equalization and neutralization. And chemical oxidation, to remove or to treat the wastewater, whatever the wastewater we are getting from the individual industries, it depends on the end product they are sending or discharging, the different characteristics of the wastewater that can be treated using of some chemicals or coagulants, that is in oxidation process. So it is if without treatment we are going to discharge onto the stream, these are all the following are the problems we have to face. Are you clear or not? Okay, I hope all of you knows very well. So next I will going to take up what are all the different methods to treat the industrial wastewater. We can discuss what are all the methods to be used to treat the wastewater or industrial wastewater. Methods of industrial waste water treatment. Next bit is what are the methods of industrial wastewater treatment. So following are the one is by volume reduction. Second one is strength reduction. Second one is strength reduction. Third one is neutralization. Fourth one is equalization. And proportioning. So the majorly from these 5 points should be keep in our mind before going to decide what type or methods of industrial wastewater treatment. First one is volume reduction. Second one is strength reduction, neutralization, equalization, proportioning. What do you mean by volume reduction? How to reduce the volume? So, the volume reduction can be classified into 3 types. 3 types. One is classified into 3 types. One is manufacturing process. Manufacturing process. Second one is cooling agents. Third one is sanitary waste. From one point. Next, second point is conservation of wastewater. Third one is change in production. Change in production. Fourth one, reuse. Both industrial and municipal wastewater. Last one, elimination of sludge discharge. Three types. First one is classification. Classification. of waste. So what is this? The following 5 types are the methods of industrial wastewater treatment. One is volume reduction, strength reduction, neutralization, equalization and proportioning. So among these 5, first I will going to take up the volume reduction. How to reduce the volume in the process? That is the main concept. So again, the volume reduction can be reduced from these 5 points. We have to keep in mind these 5 points. What are all the 5 points? One is classification of waste. Second one, conservation of wastewater. Change in production, reuse both industrial and as well as municipal wastewater. And the last one is elimination of sludge discharge. This is the classification based. Volume, if you want to reduce the volume, we have to take up these 5 steps. So among these 5 steps, what is the classification of waste? How to classify the waste? Whatever the waste coming out of that industry after getting the end product. So how to classify? So again this classification of waste can be classified into again 3 groups. What is the 3 groups? Manufacturing process waste, cooling agent waste, last one sanitary waste. What it means? What it means? Manufacturing process. Manufacturing process. So in old industries, they are using old method of process. Of course, at present, the recent tendency to reduce the volume of waste, they have to spend more money. The initial cost is little bit more. So in addition to the different units, so they have to incorporate recent method or recent new technologies. So from that, definitely we can reduce the waste manufacturing process. Okay. The next, cooling effect. So in manufacturing process, we have to add up one more additional units, and they are in that unit, they reduce the volume of water. Best example, I would like to give one example. So previously, if you people went to car washing, they are using more than 100 to 150 liters of water for one car wash. But at present standard methods, they should not use more than 50 liters. Along with the water pressure, they are creating air using of pumps. Within 50 liters, they are washing the car. That is the new technology. According to the bylaw, according to the standards, they are washing the car. But previously, there is no scarcity of water. Simply they are waste the water up to 100 liters, 150 liters, 200 liters. But at present situation, the new technology gives the idea to use only 50 liters to wash the car. Same concept even this manufacturing process also. Okay. And also whatever the waste or raw materials they are going to use, so quality of raw materials they have to use to reduce the volume by using manufacturing process. One thing. Second one is cooling agent. Whatever the water they are used it for cooling purpose at the production time, that is also not that much of polluted water. Only if it is some leaks in the joints, they can pollute very small amount. Otherwise, same cooling water, after getting the end product, the cooling water can be use it for recycling process. Again, it can be used. And sanitary waste. In old industries, it depends on the number of workers working in that particular industry. Whatever the wastewater they are generating through the washing purpose, through the urinals, through the toilets, like this. At present, recent technology, the number of workers will be less, but previously the number of workers will be more. In the old industries, what they are doing, all three waste coming from these three different kinds of points, they are clubbed each other. They are collected and directly send it to the treatment process or directly send it to the on stream, discharging to the stream. But to reduce the volume reduction, we have to bifurcate these different waste in different manner. So, where exactly they are going to change the manufacturing process? The volume can be reduced. Volume means in terms of wastewater. And whatever the water they are use it for cooling purpose, again it can be used for next process. So, once again we can reduce the wastewater. And sanitary waste also. We can collect it separately, we can send it to the municipal sewer. Otherwise, whatever these two waste can be mixed with this first one, first industrial wastewater. So, unnecessarily we are the peoples creating nuisance. So, without thinking these two ways, simply we are going to connect and we are the responsible person for creating a pollution. From these two, waste can be utilized in a recycling manner. And where exactly we are going to manufacturing process, we are going to reduce the volume of wastewater generation. This is one point, volume reduction. In volume reduction, second one, conservation wastewater. What do you mean by conservation? That is nothing but saving of water or saved the water. So, whatever the water we are getting or wastewater coming from different units, some portion can be utilized for some purpose. It may be washing purpose, it may be maintaining the garden purpose, it can be reused for some other units. Where exactly the water scarcity will be more, in that situation we have to take more care to reuse the whatever the wastewater coming out of that industry. That is one concept. Change in production. What it means? Change in production. For example, whatever the raw materials we are going to use it for getting the end product so we have to use some high quality raw materials. If we are going to use low quality raw materials, once again to rinse the material, to wash the material, we need more water. We are going to use the quality raw materials. In addition to that, it requires very small amount of water for the production. That is also change in production. And also new technologies are available presently. We can use such type of technology along with the use of quality of raw materials. Change in machines. We are stick on to use of old machines, but recently we are there will be a chances of using sophisticated instruments for the manufacturing process. Next, reuse both industrial and as well as municipal wastewater. Whatever the water coming out of that industry after the production, so such a type of, sometimes in some industries, the water will not be polluted up to that much. It depends on the quality, it depends on the whatever the end product they have to get. So, whatever the industrial wastewater coming out of that. So we can't expect same characteristics of the wastewater from all types of industries. For example, you take tannery industry, textile industry, and food processing industry, and chemical industry. All these four industrial wastewater cannot be same. It depends on the whatever the end product they are getting, whatever the raw materials they are going to use. It is fully depends on the end product, whatever the end product they are getting. Is it right? In that situation, we can use both industrial and as well as municipal wastewater. Municipal wastewater, it is in organic in nature. In municipal wastewater, there is no question of pollution, more pollution when compared with the compared with the industrial wastewater, because the whatever the industrial wastewater coming from the industries, that is such a type of waste, that is mainly acidic in nature or alkaline, very rich in alkaline or very rich in acidic in nature. To neutralize, majorly to neutralize such type of wastewater, lime or H2SO4 and copper sulfate normally used to neutralize the wastewater. So majorly without any effect, the lime is the best coagulant to neutralize the wastewater. Then we have to add, first we have to add lime to neutralize the acidic or alkaline content. Then we have to decide what type of treatment should be given to such a type of wastewater or industrial wastewater. This is the common thing. What do you mean by elimination of sludge discharge? In some industries, whatever the sludge coming out of that industry after getting the end product, they are discharging continuously. Sometimes in some industries, they are stored somewhere else. It may be minimum of 8 to 24 hours. Then they are going to discharge. In that situation, at that time, the particles will be settled at the bottom along with the chemicals also. That can be utilized for the agricultural purpose. It has got its fertilizer value. Fertilizer value. Are you clear or not? Okay. Next. The second point is, first one is volume reduction. The second one is strength reduction. The strength reduction also can be classified in process changes, equipment modification, segregation of waste, equalization, of waste, and byproduct recovery. Byproduct recovery. So how to reduce the strength of the waste? So following are the methods of reducing the waste. Process changes. It is the duty of sanitary engineer to process changes. It is the duty of the sanitary engineer. So where exactly alter the process methods? So he can reduce the volume. Where exactly unwantedly we are polluted the or we are using the water to the process, he can identify it and he can able to reduce. So if you want to reduce, so he has to change the use of some chemicals. Unnecessarily we are using the chemicals. So instead of alternative materials can be used it for the process. That is the duty of sanitary engineering. So equipment modification, second one. So in not even in this subject, all of you knows in different subjects also, this is the quite common where exactly we are going to use the equipments. So even in the same also in this subject, equipment modification. So we are stick on to use of old equipments. At present situation, we are having plenty of very good and economically use the instruments, and also it will not cause any damage to the environment. Such a type of equipments will be available at present situation. For example, noise pollution. Recent technology improves the equipments, that is unnecessarily we are going to use old concept of equipments 3, 4 like this. So series of equipments they are going to provide. Instead of providing 5 to 6 old equipments, so only single equipment can be do that all works, and also sophisticated and also economically, and also it will not require more water for their functioning. That is equipment modification. Segregation of waste. Yes, whatever the waste, industrial waste coming out of that industry after getting the end product or byproduct, end product, so the waste can be segregated. So we have to separate valuable materials to extract from the waste. Best example I would like to say, so AT&S industry, that is multinational industry located at Nanjangoodu. So they manufacture in that industry, they are going to manufacture only printed circuit boards. For the manufacturing process, it depends on the customer's demand, they are going to use the raw materials. Otherwise, simply normally they are going to use aluminum. It depends on the customer's demand, they are going to use gold, silver and as well as copper. These three materials can be used. It depends on the customer's demand. Are you clear? So only majorly in that industry, whatever the end products they are getting, fully it exports to some other countries. We are not using in our India because it is very, very costly. They are using gold, copper and silver. Okay. So nearly more than 10 to 15 times I visited that industry along with our PG students and as well as UG students previously. So whatever the waste coming out of or getting waste from after the manufacturing process is over, per month, whatever the end product they are waste coming, that is sold for 75 to 80 lakhs per month. 75 to 80 lakhs, that the waste, the value of waste is 75 to 80 lakhs. Of course, because the small scale industry peoples, they are buying that waste and they are also try to extract whatever the raw materials they are used. Either it may be gold, either it may be copper, either it may be silver, either it may be aluminum. Is it right? It is a valuable material. So we have to segregate. Then only huge amount of mass waste, we can segregate all the parts. So finally the waste will be very small. That is equalization of the waste. What do you mean by equalization of the waste? Equalization of the waste, and also byproduct recovery. Same this segregation. After the segregation, we can get the byproduct recovery. Whatever the materials they are going to use for production, so very small amount of byproduct, I mean to say, it may be, for example, whatever the AT and S industry example I gave. So according to that industry, you may extract some percentage of gold, copper, aluminum, like this. So equalization of waste. What do you mean by equalization? So what do you mean by equalization? So equalization means which have many products from the diversity of process prefer to equalize their waste. The requires holding waste for a certain period of time depending on the time taken for the respective process of the plant. For example, if a manufactured item requires a series of operations that take 8 hours, the plant needs to equalize basin designed for holding the material for it may be 8 hours, it may be 10 hours, it may be 12 hours. Immediately, whatever the end products they have to get after manufacturing, it requires to whatever the end product we have to get it back. So it requires, we have to store there only in that tank itself or in that unit only. So that unit can be designed for according to the product we are getting or product we are manufactured. It may be minimum of 2 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. So even in the previously I mentioned very clearly. So in a treatment process, either it may be water treatment or wastewater treatment process, there will be a detention tank. So detention tank means, so where exactly we are going to use the coagulants mixed with water, it should be neutralized, it should be equalized, full whole water. For that purpose only, after adding the coagulants, we have to store in a separate unit, that is equalization tank. It is thorough mixing of whole water body. Are you clear or not? Immediately we are add some coagulants, immediately we send it to some other unit. It takes more time, or the water body will not be mixed fully. That is the major concept. It takes some time. That is nothing but detention time or detention period. Okay. So this is the following are the process we have to take it in strength reduction. Next, I will take upon neutralization. Okay. I will take up this neutralization even in the next class. Until take care. Bye.